is starting to work into the race, and Shriek's now behind him. Followed next up to the turn by Sponsor. Cristoforo is last at the 350, and on the inside the Spaniard is again being pressured by Love and Snip. Maid of Pines going up out wider, and then followed by Shriek. Kentucky Clans dropped off, then GMC at the 200. Love and Snip tackled by Maid of Pines. Later Shriek the outside. Maid of Pines took the front. Shriek's a length away. Maid of Pines kicking them out, and Maid of Pines won by a length and a quarter on Shriek. Cristoforo's got home to run third. Then GMC, Love and Snip, Kentucky Clan. Behind them would have been next home was...
And further back to Dolphin Peak, and they were followed by Delete Me Not out wide on the track, and Lake Paris back near the inside, Prince Elusa ahead of it, and back to the tail of the field now as they come down the side and jump another fence there by Millennium Dancer, but there's only about 10 lengths first to last now. They're closing ranks. Down the side in the first circuit, and the leader on the inside, Soviet Rising from Gilligan the outside, 2.5 away, then Scalded Cat. The mare on the outside, Delete Me Not, a length and a half back on the inside, Dolphin Peak, as they come to the next fence. Up and over they go. Joining in on the outside, Prince Elusa. Lake Paris made a mess of that on landing and dropped back to a clear last. Now as they sort themselves out coming down the side the first time, it's still on the inside, Soviet Rising to another fence with Gilligan the outside from Delete Me Not, who dipped slightly on landing. Prince Elusa went up wide, and in behind those Cicatrix, down on the rail, Scalded Cat, or down on the inside, Scalded Cat. Pushing through again, Dolphin Peak from Millennium Dance, and they bunch right up, and Lake Paris last, but only 6 off the lead. In the heavy ground on the inner steeple track they come, the first of 3 in the lane, and here the leader, Soviet Rising over it from Gilligan. They've all jumped it pretty well. Third placing, Prince Elusa. Down on the inside was Scalded Cat from Delete Me Not out wide over the second of them. Then came Millennium Dancer, who's improved sharply. Lake Paris didn't jump that race fence and has been pulled out of the race. It's been eased down. Here's the last of the treble now, racing away from us, and the leader, Soviet Rising from Gilligan, Prince Elusa. Millennium Dancer saved beautiful, valuable ground the rail. The stablemate outside of it, Scalded Cat, and Delete Me Not was still there. Further back behind those then came Dolphin Peak, and the other one has been pulled up, Lake Paris. It might be a bit sore, and the other one ahead of it now easing down is Cicatrix, also taken out of the race. So they move over that next fence, which was the first in the first round, and they've jumped it well, where the leader still is Soviet Rising. On the outside, Gilligan puts the nose in front. The old timer's having a crack at this leader, and they kick up again, 2.5 to Delete Me Not. She runs to third. Then came close handy Prince Elusa, Dolphin Peak, and the stablemates Millennium Dancer and Scalded Cat back at the tail, but only 5 off the lead, if that. Here's the next one along the far side, and the leader now is old Gilligan. Up and over he goes from Soviet Rising. A great spectacular flight over that one, the lot of them, a great picture. In third position then came Delete Me Not. Gilligan, the old bloke's gone to the lead now by 2.5. Delete Me Not and Soviet Rising, and then came Scalded Cat, Millennium Dancer near the inside. They were followed in a jam-packed field by Dolphin Peak and Prince Elusa. Oh, he made a mess of that, Prince Elusa. He dragged through it. Down the side they race now. Scalded Cat's gone to the lead by 2.5 to old Gilligan. Millennium Dancer going through nearer the inside. Soviet Rising appears to have run its race. Dolphin Peak next, but Scalded Cat's got a big break now. He's out about 5 in front, coming to the next fence. Let's have a look at it. Scalded Cat over it nicely. Millennium Dancer second with Gilligan. Further back, Dolphin Peak followed by Prince Elusa. Soviet Rising dropping out, and Delete Me Not, but Scalded Cat's a mile in front. He's going like a Scalded Cat. Over the second last, cleared it beautifully. Millennium Dancer second, third Gilligan. They were followed further back behind those then. In fact, that was the last now, because they don't jump anymore in the lane. They're about to come into this sharp crossing onto the course proper. This will be interesting. Off the heavy ground, onto the slow track, and Scalded Cat turned for home, 7 in front of the stablemate Millennium Dancer doing the chasing. He's drifted out wide on Scalded Cat. Millennium Dancer's trying hard, but Scalded Cat's a mile in front, and Scalded Cat is going to win it easy. Scalded Cat has given them a licking. He wins by about 10 to Millennium Dancer. Third placing Dolphin Peak, Prince Elusa fourth, followed by Gilligan. He tried hard. Then Soviet Rising, and last in was Delete Me Not. I don't believe there are any casualties. Lake Paris and Cicatrix were both pulled up in running. Stand by for officials, but Scalded Cat has reversed tables on his stablemate Millennium Dancer when they finished in the minor placings behind Soviet Rising, who just didn't handle the heavy ground today. And Scalded Cat at 381.60 will get the prize here very easily for Willie Harnett and David Brightoak at Mornington. By Catrell from Scaramouche Sweet and at Talakmere Remarkably, the Attalac progeny not known for handling heavy ground, but this mare by Attalac has certainly thrown one here that can handle it. Yes, Lake Paris has pulled up sore, unfortunately. He was eased out of the race when he went amiss on the flat. Second placing to Millennium Dancer, Adam Trinder for David Brideoak, and as we mentioned, Adam being selected for the Australian team to ride in Ireland by Just a Dancer from Kalina Star. It's a Tristram mare, and Dolphin Peak I think we've called third as we check for the placings. Number 7, Dolphin Peak. M.O. for Gary Carson by...
Yeah, 4, 2 and 7. Now race 3 Scone is coming up.
Oscar Fever, new steps to move in. I can see Wild On out behind the gate. Princess Tara now moving in. Finnegan Jones has moved up. Sandalwood yet to load, so there's about a...
Okay, so, well, gee, roughly half the field to load there at Scone, and they're getting very close at Coleraine. So let's head to Ron Paps.
Good open betting race. At Risk is the last to come forward. Just doing some adjustment. Now waiting for At Risk to go in. Drawn out in the bleachers. Young Matthew Alessi aboard. He's already ridden a winner here today. They're off in the Cup. And caught them at the first attempt too, and Mr. Jackhammer won the battle early as they go around that first turn very quickly. Going after it now, Cool Condi, and even deeper was Vittori Gold, and wider still was Spadanza. They go to the 1600 metre point from Star of Brooklyn outside of Karaka Angus, and around the outside of those now is At Risk, who's improving. So is You're Joking going on with it. Now they get away about 2 lengths in advance of the others, who are headed then by Mukta Cherie, then Magic Ben, 2.5 further back behind those came Hidden Account. About 4 lengths further back to Mighty Ming. Mighty Ear was second last, and Chopstick it's outside. Along the far side of the course they race now. They've gone fairly keenly, and the leaders now are You're Joking and At Risk, who's done a big job for young Matthew Alessi to get across from the wide gate. They were followed in third position then as they come back into my view from behind the big screen. Vittori Gold it is from Mr. Jackhammer, and then Star of Brooklyn. They were followed further back behind those then by Spadanza, who just dropped the bit there and had to be shaken up. Magic Ben revved him up by going around him. They were followed further back by Mukta Cherie on the outside, Karaka Angus, then Chopstick further back behind those, Cool Condi, who's giving some ground and is now about to be passed by Mighty Ming. Mighty Eel is starting to respond to hard riding, and back to the tail is the hurdler Hidden Account. They come down the side and head towards the 470 metre mark now. Under here the leader still Vittori Gold takes over. In second placing Star of Brooklyn the grey from Casterton is coming after it. Magic Ben around the outside, wider still, At Risk in trouble. Something happened there on the turn. In the straight, Star of Brooklyn raced to the front from Vittori Gold. Look out wide for dangers. Chopstick from the rear of the fields running home. So too is Mighty Eel down the outside, but Claire Lindop on Star of Brooklyn. Mighty Eel comes after it. Star of Brooklyn. Mighty Eel is flying home. Star of Brooklyn. Star of Brooklyn and Claire Lindop take out the Coleraine Cup of 2003. Mighty Eel got second. Third over on the inside, Spadanza, a big effort. Close up with those Mukta Cherie, and on the outside Chopstick, Magic Ben, Karaka Angus never really got into it. Vittori Gold, You're Joking, Mighty Ming, followed by At Risk, who seem to be in trouble around the turn. Further back, Cool Condi, followed by Mr. Jackhammer, and the hurdler was last, Hidden Account.
Now, please note we have a late scratching at the gates at Scone, number 7, still
on with plans for Tycoon Ruler to run in the Toorak Handicap. And as far as his stable